Welcome, my dear friends, to tonight's Enchanted Bedtime story. My name is Jacob Evans, and I create all the tales you hear, each lovingly crafted from my heart to bring you peace and sprinkle a touch of magic into your dreams. In tonight's story, we discover a hidden garden filled with ancient wisteria vines and enchanting fairies. Guided by Zinnia, a magical fairy, we unravel the mysteries of this magical sanctuary. As you nestle into the comfort of your bed, let the soothing rhythm of our story, set against the backdrop of this mystical wisteria garden, cradle you in a soothing embrace. Even after our story ends, the gentle whispers of the vines and the soft glow of the fairies will linger. So there's no need to worry about the ending or the silence that follows. Now, make yourself comfortable. Allow your body to relax, sinking into the softness of your bed. You have done enough for today. Truly, it is enough. As you drift into sleep, I'll be right here, guarding over you with my voice. Let's start our tale with a couple of deep, calming breaths. Inhale deeply through your nose. And sigh out your mouth. Wonderful. Once more, breathe in. And out. Perfect. In tonight's story, we embark on a journey to a magical wisteria garden, a serene place where the whispers of ancient vines and the glow of fairies create an enchanting tapestry. Guided by Zinnia, we uncover secrets that lie beneath the fragrant blossoms. Each rustle of the leaves and every gentle breeze invites us into a realm of dreams. As the line between the ordinary and the magical blurs, breathe deeply, close your eyes, and let's float together into this wondrous journey. I had always been drawn to the edge of the forest, where the trees seem to whisper ancient secrets in the rustling of their leaves. One late afternoon, as the golden light of the setting sun filtered through the branches, I decided to follow a narrow, overgrown path I had never noticed before. Something about it called to me, urging me to explore its hidden depths. The path wound deeper into the forest, and the air grew cooler, filled with the scent of earth and wildflowers. I pushed aside branches and stepped over roots until I stumbled upon a clearing bathed in a soft, ethereal light. There, in the middle of the clearing, stood a magnificent garden, unlike anything I had ever seen. Wisteria vines cascaded from ancient trees, their purple blossoms creating a fragrant canopy overhead. The petals shimmered in the fading sunlight, casting a magical glow that made the entire garden seem alive. I stepped closer, my heart pounding with excitement and curiosity. As I ventured further into the garden, I noticed a small stone bench nestled among the vines. I sat down, marveling at the beauty surrounding me. The wisteria blooms swayed gently in the breeze, and I could almost hear them whispering secrets of old. It felt as if the garden was welcoming me, inviting me to uncover its mysteries. I closed my eyes for a moment, letting the serenity of this place wash over me. When I opened them again, the garden seemed even more enchanting, as if it had shifted subtly, revealing more of its hidden wonders. The colors of the wisteria were more vibrant, the air more fragrant, and the light more golden. I felt a sense of belonging, as if I had been destined to find this secret garden. My curiosity piqued. I decided to explore further, eager to uncover the secrets the garden held. Little did I know, this was only the beginning of a journey that would change my life forever. As I wandered deeper into the garden, the air seemed to hum with a gentle, melodious energy. The wisteria vines draped gracefully from the trees, their blossoms forming delicate curtains that swayed in the soft breeze. I reached out to touch one of the blooms, and as my fingers brushed against it, I heard a faint whisper At first, I thought it was the wind, but then I realized the whispers were coming from the vines themselves. I leaned in closer, trying to make out the words. They spoke in a language I couldn't understand, yet their tone was soothing and filled with wisdom. The garden seemed alive with secrets, waiting to be shared. I followed the whispers, letting them guide me through the garden. The path led me to a small clearing where the wisteria vines had formed a natural archway. As I stepped through the arch, the whispers grew louder, more distinct. I felt a tingling sensation, as if the very air was charged with magic. In the center of the clearing, I saw tiny, glowing figures flitting among the flowers. They were no bigger than my hand, with delicate wings that shimmered in the twilight. These were the Wisteria Fairies, ethereal and beautiful, their presence adding to the enchantment of the garden. One of the fairies approached me, her wings fluttering like gossamer. She hovered in front of me, her eyes sparkling with curiosity and kindness. "Welcome," she said, in a voice as soft as a breeze. "We have been waiting for you." I was stunned, unable to speak for a moment. You can talk?" I finally managed to ask. The fairy giggled, a sound like tinkling bells. "Of course we can talk. We are the guardians of this garden, and you have been chosen to uncover its secrets. The wisteria vines have sensed your presence and have deemed you worthy." My heart swelled with a mix of awe and excitement. What secrets does this garden hold? The fairy smiled. "Patience, dear one. All will be revealed in time. For now, know that this garden is a place of magic and wonder, and you are now a part of its story." As the sun dipped below the horizon, the garden was bathed in a soft, silvery light. The fairies continued to dance among the flowers. their whispers mingling with the rustling of the vines. I felt a profound sense of peace and belonging, knowing that I had been chosen to unlock the mysteries of this enchanting place. With the fairies guiding me, I felt a sense of purpose and adventure. The garden seemed to shift around me, each step revealing new wonders and hidden paths. The whispers of the wisteria vines grew clearer, and I felt as though I was beginning to understand their ancient language, a blend of nature's symphony and ethereal voices. The fairy who had first greeted me, now resting on my shoulder, introduced herself as Zinnia. "This garden has been here for centuries," she explained, her voice a melodic whisper. "It's a place where the magic of nature and the dreams of those who find it intertwine." Zinnia led me to an ancient tree at the heart of the garden. Its gnarled trunk was adorned with glowing runes, and its roots spread out like protective arms. "This is the Wisteria Garden," Zinnia said, her tone reverent. "It holds the wisdom and magic of this place." As I touched the tree, a warmth spread through my fingers, and images began to flood my mind. I saw the history of the garden, a sanctuary for weary souls, a haven where dreams were nurtured, and a place where the magic of the wisteria vines healed and inspired. I understood then that the garden's purpose was to offer solace and awaken the hidden potential within those who found it. "You have a special connection to this place," Zinnia said softly. "The vines recognized your spirit and chose you to be their new guardian." "Me, a guardian?" I asked, incredulous. "Yes," Zinnia affirmed. "The garden has sensed your kindness and curiosity. You have the heart and soul needed to protect and nurture its magic." As I absorbed this revelation, the other fairies gathered around, their wings shimmering like moonlight on water. They began to sing, a harmonious melody that resonated deep within me. The wisteria vines responded, their whispers mingling with the song, creating a symphony of magic. In that moment, I felt a surge of power and clarity. The garden's magic flowed through me, filling me with a sense of purpose and connection. I realized that I had always been searching for a place where I truly belonged. And here, amidst the wisteria vines and fairies, I had found it. The garden's secrets were no longer hidden from me. I understood its magic, its history, and its need for a guardian. And as I stood there, bathed in the light of the glowing runes, I knew that I had become a part of something extraordinary. The more time I spent in the garden, the more attuned I became to its magic. The fairies guided me through rituals and ancient practices, teaching me how to communicate with the wisteria vines and harness their power. Each day brought new discoveries, and with each revelation, I felt my own hidden potential blossoming. One evening, as the sky turned a deep indigo and stars began to twinkle, Zinnia led me to a secluded part of the garden I had not yet explored. Here, the wisteria vines were thicker, their blossoms more vibrant, and the air seemed to hum with a palpable energy. This is a special place. It's where the garden's magic is most concentrated. Tonight, you will perform a ceremony to fully embrace your role as the guardian. I felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. What do I need to do? Zinnia smiled gently. Just trust in the garden and in yourself. The vines will guide you. I stood in the center of the clearing, the fairies forming a luminous circle around me. I closed my eyes. I felt the soft caress of the wisteria vines wrapping around my wrists. Their touch, warm and comforting. The whispers grew louder, filling my mind with ancient words and melodies. The fairies began to sing, their voices blending with the whispers, creating a harmonious symphony that resonated deep within my soul. I felt a surge of energy, a connection to the garden that was stronger than ever before. It was as if the very essence of the wisteria vines were flowing through me, infusing me with their magic. Visions filled my mind, images of the garden's past, the people it had healed, and the dreams it had nurtured. I saw myself among them, not just as a guardian, but as a part of the garden's living history. The vines tightened their embrace, and I felt a rush of power and clarity. When I opened my eyes, the garden seemed even more vibrant, the colors richer, and the air more alive with magic. The fairies' song faded into a gentle hum, and I felt a profound sense of peace and purpose. "You have embraced your role," Zinnia said, her voice filled with pride. "You are now the guardian of this magical place. The garden's secrets and power are yours to protect and nurture." I smiled, feeling a deep sense of belonging. "Thank you, Zinnia. Thank you, everyone." The fairies cheered, their wings shimmering in the starlight. The garden felt like home, a place where I could grow and thrive, just like the wisteria vines that surrounded me. As the night deepened, I knew that my journey had only just begun. The garden had many more secrets to reveal, and I was ready to uncover them, one magical moment at a time. As the first light of dawn touched the garden, I knew it was time to leave. Though my heart felt tethered to this magical place, the fairies gathered around, their tiny hands offering gentle farewells. "We'll always be here," Zinnia whispered, her eyes sparkling. "Remember, the magic of the garden is within you now." With a final look look at the wisteria vines, I stepped back onto the path that had brought me here. The forest seemed to part before me, leading me back home. As I walked, I felt the garden's magic flowing through me, a comforting presence that would guide me always. I knew I would return to the garden, where the wisteria whispered secrets of old, and the fairies danced in the twilight. But for now, I carried its enchantment with me, a reminder that magic is everywhere, waiting to be discovered.